Hello, everybody. Welcome to this special program of Pájaro de Fuego. This is the place for culture, art, and music. And I'm very happy to be here because the idea of Pájaro de Fuego, born with the concept of having a program or some kind of a radio program some years ago. Then my wife mentioned to why don't you make a podcast or something like that? So, as a visual artist, it was hard for me to visualize this idea, this concept. But when I was doing my experiments for the Music Day presentation, I came out with this software, which is very, very, very cool. It's called OBS, means Open Broadcasting Studio. This software is very nice because you can have image files, you can have sound files, you can have movie files, slides, whatever. You have almost anything you want on this place where you can use as a tool. So with this tool, I just started to come up with more ideas, and then I realized, well, it would be nice if I have a guest in my program. So this way, with the guests, these days we limit ourselves in to seeing each other. So I wanted to have that presence with people that I admire, that I know, and having this connection with the community, especially in the arts. So that's the idea how it came out with Pájaro de Fuego. And the other concept of Pájaro de Fuego is for all of us who live in the Valley of the Sun, because the phoenix bird who came out from the ashes, from the fire, actually. So that's the relationship, or the ave phoenix in Spanish. So it's a good relationship, a good connection with all of us who live here in the Valley of the Sun. And I'm gonna show you right now the original painting. This is a 16 by 20 canvas made of acrylic, acrylic on canvas, and this is the image for Pájaro de Fuego. And with this piece, I came up on the concept of flying, and when I was choosing the colors, I came up with a wow. It's a perception of the phoenix bird, of the pájaro de fuego. So this piece is available. If you like it, you can send me a message, and we can talk about it. So 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas, the original piece of pájaro de fuego. Okay, well, let's move to the next part. Just want to show you real quick here my presence online. These two websites, on the ones on the top, are my main websites. The one that is says oliveriobalcells.com, the one on the left, this is the website where I have all my art. I have my public art, I have my portfolio there, and here you can buy art pieces from me. You can place orders from me with prints and posters related to my art. The one on the right is for my business. This is for Lizard Studios, for lizard.org. On this website, you will find my services. You can place a printing order. You can hire me to make art workshops. You can find out about my music and maybe hire my music for a documentary or movie or something. And this is the place for the business, for lizard.org. And we move to the bottom one. To the next one is from Instagram. It's just Oli Balcells. The one under, everybody knows this one, Spotify. This is where you find my music. Actually, you can find it on iTunes also. Oli Balcells. Then we go to the YouTube. You can go to YouTube channel and find me as Oliverio Balcells. And the last one for Facebook, the one that we're looking right now, it's Oliverio Balcells, my personal profile, or the business one for Lizard Studios. So check it out. If you would like to follow me, I will appreciate it. Thank you very much, and welcome to Pájaro de Fuego. We're going to continue with our guests today.
Hello, everyone. We are here with a contemporary artist, community leader, an art promoter, and one of my first friends when I moved to Arizona 20 years ago. Here's Marco Albarran. Welcome, Marco.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good. I hope everybody's okay. Welcome to the first session of Pájaro de Fuego. So we have Marco Albarran here with us, and it's an honor to have you on the program or podcast or whatever it is. But I really appreciate it. And tell us, Marco, where are you from? And tell us a little bit of your childhood, who you are.
Um, Originally, I was born in Mexico, in the Sonora, in a small little town called, it's a border town called San Luis Rio Colorado, Sonora, which is in the northwest corner of the state of Sonora and the southeast corner of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And it's close to Mexicali, and it's a border town right there.
Okay. And how old you were when you were living there?
I lived there. I was born there, and then I was there until I was about 11 or 12, and then I moved to the U.S.
Okay.
to the town of Yuma.
In Yuma. Okay. So you've been living in the U.S. since you were 12, in Arizona always?
In Arizona always.
Okay. And how was the change for you?
It was different. It was very well. One, I didn't speak English, so when I came over here, not only the language, but it was also the culture and the food.
Mm-hmm.
In Mexico, let's an example, milk is a different way that they process. It's not an even process. It's a natural milk.
Yeah.
So when I came over here, that was one of the things that right away I saw a difference. So my stomach, it took a while before I could even drink any dairies or milk or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a big change. I know that. Hey, Marco, tell us how you get involved in the arts here in Arizona.
Well, at the time when I was in Yuma, I was in high school, and I was living in a smaller town, even from Yuma, called Somerton. We used to call it Soma.
Okay.
And so at the time, there was this guy from California. I can't remember where he was, but it was from a university in central northern California.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he came to Yuma to help kids develop something different from what they had in there, because there was not much for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the first project that we worked was a mural.
Oh, wow.
So we did actually a mural for this guy, and it was it's a community mural, and it was the indigenous base image mural. So it was a nice one. Actually, the mural came out on the Lowrider magazine, and I was part of that when they cover that too.
Oh, okay. Very nice. And how did you start to doing these community art events here in Phoenix? What was the idea came from?
Well, when I first moved to Phoenix as a student at the university, I got involved with this other guy that was also from Yuma, but he had his own theater company.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually, and the way he did this teatro or theater, the name of the teatro is Teatro Ensemble de Aztlán. And the guy that I'm talking about is Homero Chavez, and he actually lives in Yuma now.
Okay.
Um, but he used to recruit students to actually, and he taught the students how to perform. They never performed before, and that was one of the students that he helped get into theater.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to take the theater to different schools and perform in different schools here in Phoenix and outside Phoenix. And I was part of that. And then I helped him with the administration of the theater a little bit. But that's how I got kind of started here in Phoenix in terms of working with community and
What
the arts.
what year was that?
That was in 83, 84.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There was nothing in those days.
There was nothing in those days. It was very difficult to even get around in terms of the arts and everything. At that time, I mean, there was already some Chicano art organizations. They were barely starting. So and they started actually after the Chicano movement in the 70s, and so that's it was a very difficult time for arts.
Yeah, I heard some stories about the Mars and Chican Indio, those
Right,
organizations from
right,
the 70s, right?
right. And those are the organizations that I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's Aritlan, Chica Indio, Mars.
So practically you came to make like a bridge between this in the 80s, from the
Right.
first organizations, and then you came out with this idea to organize artists, and because
Right. Well, then when I was a student at the university, I became president of an organization, Chicano organization called MECHA,
mm,
Movimiento Chicano, de Aztlán, Estudiantil de Aztlán. So from that, I started organizing not only the students, but I actually outreached to the other universities in Sonora and Baja California and Guadalajara. And I brought artists from over there to the university as an exchange kind of program. And I was the first one that actually did something like that. But I had the support of many of the former students, my fellow students from Yuma, and they really helped. And then from here, and they really helped establish, an exchange program. At that time, at the university, there was no minority programs, there was no recruiting programs or anything like that. So everything we were doing was something new in so many ways. Eventually, those programs were developed at the university level.
wow. Just take a look how it had changed, latest years, everything here in the valley.
Oh,
So
there's been a tremendous change, a lot of change. At the time when I was around, there was very few opportunities. So you had to create the opportunities. And that's how I learned to not wait for other people, not wait for other programs, not wait for funding to do what you needed to do, because it was hard when I came over here to do almost anything and that was my mentality, is that you can do anything you want if you want to do it. And it's just a matter of go ahead and I was criticized. I had so many things, voices sometimes that they tried to stop you, and I just move ahead,
yeah,
and did what I need to do.
wow.
And
Like
I
the,
learned that from actually Cesar Chavez, because I was before I came to the university,
mm,
and when I first came to the United States, and before that, I used to help my dad in the farm working field. So I was a farm worker. And every time I got out from high school, I went straight and even helped until it was dark. And the summers I helped from morning and to. So I started very early in my life working as a farm worker, and that's when I met Cesar Chavez.
oh, wow.
And through him, through his voice, that's when actually I got this enthusiasm as a kid to keep going regardless of what the challenges were.
Mm-hmm.
And so even at the university, I still I met with Cesar Chavez every time he came over here, and we actually were waiting for him before he died in Yuma. He was gonna come over here, and we were waiting for him at that day. And then we got notified that he died, but he was one of the people that really push uh, me and my own way to continue and don't wait for anybody.
Yeah, like
What
we
you
say
want to do.
in Spanish, hágalo usted mismo, ¿no?
Sí, o en el norte agarra el toro de los cuernos y órale.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's partly one of those very powerful, those stories from immigrants that really have to just do it, by yourself and no matter what. But this is you're a great example of how to do things, and especially in the arts, that is it's not a easy field.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah. So tell us about the art that you're making lately. You've been moving from different techniques. Now you're experimenting with mixed media, all kinds of materials and prints, huge prints. Tell us how you developed your techniques over the years.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that I like doing is not do the same thing all the time. I keep changing, keep evolving, experimenting. And sometimes it can be a mixed media. Sometimes it can be a sculpture. Sometimes it can be printmaking, painting, whatever it is. I'm not afraid of doing whatever I need to do or changing the way I do my art. Um, so even the one behind the image behind me is a print that is 6 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet high,
Wow.
and that print we did it through a steam roller printer. So basically using a big machine to roll and print a big carving that I made on plywood.
Yeah, I think I was that day when
Right.
when you printed. Everybody was putting ink on this huge piece.
Yeah, it took about 6, 7 people to apply the ink and then to go through the whole process of rolling. So it was a big job to even creating the prints.
Yeah, just to
Yeah,
prepare it, right?
right. But that's the thing is that things like this, it's not just about yourself. It involves other people, and we become a family of artists, and we help each other. And the good times and the bad times, we try to help each other as much
Yeah,
as possible.
yeah, definitely. I just want to mention that I remember, when we met, we were talking about it the other day, and you were one of the first artists that I met when I moved here, in 2003, probably 2004, and with other artists. And what you said is very interesting, and this is the truth because we are a big group of artists that we've been supporting each other over the years, especially with organizing these events everywhere here in Tempe, actually, with the Tempe Tardeada. We used to do that and
Right.
present in different events. So thank you for giving us the connection and feel part of a group, organization that we need
Right.
to share of.
And even before I met you, I mean, you didn't see when I was published in the magazine at the time when I was published in the magazine.
Mhm.
But even which was a Sopilote magazine. Uh, but even with that, I used to bring artists from all over, not only from here, but all over the country before the internet, um, to be part of the magazine, to write, to submit images, to photography, stories, stuff like that. It was a cultural magazine. But those are the things that I like doing. As things that I do is to find a way to have a greater voice as an artist, as a community artist, and then expand on that. And then, as you know, when I met you, that's when I had and I started the organization Calaca,
Mhm.
Cultural Center, and that's one of the, for me, it was a way to actually start getting the artists, not only the artists from here, but the artists that they came from different parts of Latin America and didn't speak the English, the language,
Mhm.
and to open up for them the opportunities to show, to exhibit, to be part of this bigger family, So, and that was my main thing in terms of the time, and then eventually became a whole different thing.
Yeah, and lately the chanclazo, no?
Yeah, and lately I had the chanclazo, and that's again, it's a way for the artists just to get together enjoy each other and have a small little gatherings of artists and different of the artists' houses and studios, and just to get to know each other and have a nice mezcal, you know.
Yeah, salud. Okay, Marco. Well, and well, tell us, just to finish this interview, what do you think about the present today, to the present moment that we're living in, and how would you like to see the future?
Well, I mean, we are in the very present times with the COVID-19, and it's a difficult time for everybody, not only the artists but everybody. So it's going to be a challenge as we go forward and figure out how we're going to work. If we're going to even be able to even get together like we used to, in a way that is still, you know, like familia is. Uh, it's going to be very, very difficult. But I, you know, like anything else, we have gone to different challenges in our lives and the way we do our art and the way we move forward with what we believe to be an artist. And as much as barriers that is in front of us, we always find a way to jump or run around it. And I think that's something that we're going to be doing regardless. And if we find some of the artists having difficulties, then that's where we are in there to help and figure out how to have them jump or move around those barriers.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the reasons that I'm making this program, to to get involved and invite the community. This because this is our nature as a human beings. We need to each other. We have to stop thinking about competition and separation. We don't want that. We want cooperation instead.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we have to in some way still figure out how to innovate ourselves. And if we're not competing, then we have to figure out how to innovate ourselves, how to be able to compete at the national level, the state level with other mainstream artists. Because as you know, what we do is not a mainstream art. It's something that they're still trying to figure out where we are, why we create what we create, why we don't do art that is very Eurocentric, but our art is more indigenous centric. You know, so that's something that I think eventually, and I'm hoping that eventually more places, more galleries, more museums are going to be more open to what we create and see our art as something that is legit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very much, Marco, for the interview. I hope you're having a self isolation or quarantine or whatever it is that everybody's living, and stay safe. And thank you very much for the interview. And let's keep moving,
Yeah, well, muchas gracias por la invitación, and thank you for inviting. And I'm hoping that, I know I'm the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, you know, eventually this becomes something that many people want to do. I think that it has a lot of potential.
And thank you, yeah, for your participation.
Oh, thank you. Too bad I'm not a musician or something. I'll be playing the guitar or the
No, that's good. Okay, Marco. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here at the first session of Pájaro de Fuego. Next presentation will be August 22nd, 6 p.m. Arizona time. We will have